Yo, everyone ready? Yeah, no, you are. We can just lead in.
Yeah, we just like to lead in like
We
this.
just cruise in.
We're already on, are we?
We should start vlogging before shows like
Yeah.
Nelk do.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll start it. Anyway, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 103 of the 9 to 5 Fitness Podcast. We've got a huge guest today. But firstly, Gab, how are you? How did you sleep?
Mate, feeling absolutely unbelievable. Slept really well. Just really good routine at the moment. I'm trying to do 30 minutes of meditation before bed, phone away in another room, do not touch the phone, and then straight away roll into bed, sleeping like an absolute dog. Whoop is agreeing with me too. What about you, mate?
I'm very well. I slept very well. I feel like, Tommy, you would do a bit of meditation before bed. We've got a huge guest today, Tommy Sheridan. How are you? How'd you
Love it. You
sleep?
said huge. Not that huge, but it's
Massive.
great to be here, boys. Sleep. Wow. I'm just a bit jet lagged at the moment. I only got back from the States a week ago. Everyone's asked me, are you jet lagged? I probably am. I can't get quality sleep at the moment. But before bed, I've been getting into a good routine. Trying to stay off the phone's hard. Just got a bad habit of checking that before bed. And but what I like to do is actually put a podcast on before
I'm
bed.
the same.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but when I tune out and listen, it puts me to sleep.
Same.
Whereas if I put a meditation tape on, I like a couple, but I feel it's a bit repetitive. So, yeah, I'll put a podcast on and set it to that. You know how you can set it for like 15 or
mate, I'm
20
the exact
minutes? And if
same.
it keeps going, say I'm still awake, I'll then put it on again for another 15.
Same.
And if I go through that, then I'm in trouble.
That's yeah. Then you're not sleeping. I get so in my head when I
Surely
can't
you
sleep.
have the phone on Do Not Disturb, so like you're not getting notifications and then the podcast is playing, or
I've never done that. I just have it on silent and nothing interrupts
Silent.
it.
Absolute madman.
that's fine.
Yeah, just silent.
Yeah, right. That's fair enough. Yeah, well, mate, I'm excited for today. Someone that we get a lot of inspiration from is you. So thank you very
thanks,
much for
boys.
that. We've been podcasting. We're 103 episodes in now. You've got your own podcast as well, which kind of does settle us a lot because sometimes we have guests on. Everyone's gangster until they get in front of the mic
They
and
get
the
a bit
cameras.
nervous, some people, don't they?
But you seem chill.
Yeah, I think
Cool cover.
I mean, as you said, if you've got a podcaster or someone that's been behind the mic before, they're a bit more relaxed. I do notice that some people get nervous.
And they're chill before, and then they sit down
Turn
in
to
the
water.
seat. You got the lights, you got the cameras and the mics.
And you have to calm them down without
Yeah.
making it obvious. So you gotta warm them in, like, oh mate, so what's been, like it's
Exactly.
Once you start to see that they're short of a breath,
And often takes 10 minutes generally.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
they get rolling late, don't they? They're in the back end of a podcast.
Oh,
You're
then they chirp up.
humming. Yeah.
Oh, then they
yeah,
chirp up.
yeah.
Love to see it. Mate, you tell us a little bit about yourself. I want to hear about like kind of where you started in terms of footy and then like a little bit about Rick's eyewear as well.
Yeah, so I started playing footy at 18. Grew up Riddles Creek. A bit of a larrikin, almost country, but I'm not. So kind of still metro. Riddles Creek still considered metro. Was drafted to Fremantle and played 7 years at the Dockers there, and then got delisted, and then got picked up by the Giants 2 years in Sydney. And then retired probably before they cut me, but I just couldn't handle COVID that year. I had a couple people pass away in the family, and my uncle and great auntie. My body was just average. I was hating it. Like, we were just stuck in the hubs. It was like ready to call it. And started a business called Rick's Eyewear, for the Sunnies in Fremantle. I started the Sunnies brand when I was 21, so that would have been my third year at Freo. That's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. And that kind of dictated my retirement because I was like, well, I was on a rookie wage, full transparency, man. My contract was like 80 grand the last year. It was the worst contract I'd had, and it got cut in half because everyone had 50% pay cuts. They cut everyone. So I thought,
you the hardest.
I thought, you've got to be joking me. I was paying to play. I'm not even lying. I was living in Point Piper. I was paying an arm and a leg for rent. We weren't even there. We're getting everything paid for as well while we're on the road. I couldn't get myself right because I was injured. Me last year, footy was... I still enjoyed it. The GWS Giants Footy Club was so much fun and the best, so many close mates out of it, and still do. But yeah, in terms of my personal football, it was just going downhill. So I thought, well, I'll get out of this and start taking this to the new heights and continue to grow it. So yeah, been doing that, and then probably late last year or early last year, about April, Oz American Aces, I went full time. So I stepped out of like operations for Rick's, obviously. The founder, but wasn't actually working day to day, so jumped out of it. And then, I should rewind a bit. I started those American Aces in 2021 around like September when the AFL finals were in Perth, when I was stuck over there. and then did it properly. I felt like I found the right guy to produce it. That's what I was saying to these young boys behind the scenes here. They're so valuable. They're hard to find, content creators and producers and anyone that's in the, that can film podcasts, especially. As you know, you need good sound, you need good video, you need portrait, but you just need it for everything. And so I found a guy, Braden from Roland Media, and then I think we kicked it off in April last year and haven't so it's called Osmerican Aces. It's pretty much an Australian and American sports club. It's like an Australian voice to American sport, focusing primarily on AFL, NBA and NFL with a little bit of golf and everything else outside. And loving it. So just got back overseas and now I'm here and we're on the 9 to 5 and
podcast.
Yeah, ready to go, boys. That's kind of like how it all started.
Yeah, mate. I think you have such a cool story. Tracking back, getting drafted to Perth as a Vic country guy. How did you find the transition to moving to WA?
Yeah, it was an eye opener. Pick 16, was expected to go to 19 to Essendon. I wasn't invited to the draft, so our first 20 picks normally go to the draft. So I was at home, had a big party, had Harold's son there. It was like the fairy tale come true. Everyone was aware that I was probably going to go to 19 at Essendon. James Heard was the coach. He's my favourite. He's my idol. It was all going to be the fairy tale. And then bang, pick 16, Fremantle. So off to the Dockers. And I was probably pretty immature, I reckon, when I got there, if you spoke to a few of the older boys. Yeah, just a bit of a knucklehead, to be honest. I just had no idea. Never really had a job. So, rolling into a workplace and you know what it's like, just being on time and just little things like that would have caught me off guard. I had Ross Lyon as my coach. It was his first year. You can imagine the
pressure on him. And
the pressure, but just the way he wants to, like the standards were ridiculously high, which was great. But when you're coming from Riddles Creek and you got no idea, it was good. So bit of an eye opener, boys, and Perth's so far away. So the hardest part is it's not like you can just get your mates to duck over. There was $1,000 a flight up and back. So not many mates could get over to see you much because they're at uni and whatnot. But it was. I'm so grateful for that they did take me, and I've met so many cool people in WA. Have you boys been to WA?
I was born there. I'm an Eagles supporter.
Sorry. Yeah, right.
Hey, I was gonna say, how do you find the competition between Eagles and Dockers? Like, was it just hectic while you were over there, being a Dockers player? Or it wasn't too bad?
Derby week it was. See what? Hang on, how long have you been in Melbourne for? And
I was born there and then lived there till I was 4.
Oh, it's one of those ones.
Not really, mate. WA local. I know my grandma was in Claremont. I was in the Golden Triangle.
Oh, you're in the Golden Triangle.
That's my idea of Perth.
I did not know what you're talking about.
It's the rich suburbs. Yeah, okay. So you would have been a West Coast fan, as you said.
Huge Eagles fan.
I mean, the river kind of divides the teams, doesn't it, a little bit? No, it was all right. Like there's definitely a huge rivalry with Dockers and West Coast, but West Coast obviously were around earlier, so Dockers did it the tough way. And if you go through the history of the club, they didn't have much starting off, so it was a very once they started to beat the Eagles, it's a pretty proud moment and it's a pretty cool moment.
Well, you were there for a lot of that, weren't you?
That would have been early days, like your Shawnee McManus and all that back in the day, early 2000s, but. When we started humming,
because you were up,
When we started humming, we were playing finals pretty much every year. They weren't. We were beating the Eagles, and then when I think my last couple of years, I think I went and watched a game in 2021. Was the last time. It was the first time Fred beaten West Coast in 9 games.
Yeah,
which is 4.5 years.
Ridiculous.
So it kind of swings and roundabouts a little bit over there.
When you see young kids getting drafted now, do you kind of see how happy and excited they are, and as they should be? But do you think do they look a whole lot more professional than what you felt at the time?
So.
Are they just dialed in?
I think so, and you kind of have to be. We were professional, but it was just those little things. And also, they're well educated and in terms of sports science and their bodies and everything else. So they've got a pretty good understanding. The programs are more elite underneath.
But you can see why as well, even just from a social media perspective, even for anyone who wants to put size on, as a kid, there's so much opportunity and there's so much science out there now.
The information's way more accessible. And I think we realised how backward the resistance training and strength and conditioning was in Australia. You'd know from American sports, just how you're taught from such a young age, you need to be going to the gym, be doing this and that. They're benching 100 kilos pretty early on, whereas it's it's pretty strange in Australia, but I think it's kind of catching on a little bit more. You see some of the facilities that the colleges have over there compared to here, and it's just nuts.
The difference as well is the colleges, the draft, everyone's 18, you know, or sometimes they're 17. You know, I drafted with Hayden Crozier, who was still 17. Like, we'd be going, let's go to a nightclub, Metros, and he couldn't come, like our first month, just to suss it out in Freo. But, like, they're young men, really, 17, 18. So it does take a long time for some of them to develop, whereas some like a Dacos, he's just ready to go. And I think, like, the difference between like a Dacos and Ashcroft, like they've got their families, like, you know, their old man would be able to teach them so much knowledge about the game and how to carry yourself and why this and that matters. Like, you know, real life experiences when they're real young. So when they hit 18 and get drafted, they're almost like a 4-year player. You know, they're almost done their apprenticeship already. So you see those guys that are pretty impressive. And when you hear them speak, it's not like an 18-year-old.
Media trained, aren't they?
Yeah, but like you can tell they've been thinking about it from a younger age, where other people probably don't take it serious till they're 16, 17. They start to realise, oh, this is an opportunity where I could get drafted.
Our coach, who's a sports and exercise scientist, he was saying that he has like players or like young kids, 14 or even 12 through to, you know, 16, 17, and their parents are going out sourcing like an external coach and it's him, and he's like not allowed to talk about it to anyone because you don't want the rest of the team, like selective team, to hear it.
Is this for like up and coming AFL?
Yeah,
players?
AFL, like NRL and so on.
Wow.
Like,
I mean, that's
so competitive, hey.
That's different. That's different.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing, isn't it? I don't know, but I remember like when I was growing up playing footy and stuff, Dad just had no clue, and then he'd speak.
Mate, you feel bad for going to the physio because it costs too much. It's like, mate, my groin's torn off.
Mate, I remember I had a corky once at school footy. We didn't have like school footy like the private school. It was a private school, Salesian. But I remember getting a cork in my shin or calf. It was like on the outside of the shin, you know, and I went to training and he's like, mate, rub some heat into it. You know, we used to rub heat into it. And I'm going, all right. And he's rubbing this heat in it. I'm nearly crying. And he's like, come on, mate, you're tougher than that. And then, you know, you get drafted. Then you start playing footy. And then later on, like, you get this big corky and they're like, ice.
Yeah,
48 hours, a bit of... And you're like, what the fuck was that bloke telling me, you know?
No one has any idea.
So, yeah, maybe it is smart for the parents to invest in third-party recovery places and coaches.
If you go back and give your kind of 18-year-old self one piece of advice just before you got drafted, what do you reckon it'd be?
Far out. I mean, I never really thought about it. I mean, it's hard to, like, you don't regret anything, but yeah, you probably be on time. I used to be late to a couple meetings, and then I was branded as the guy that was late, and I reckon I was late 3 times. And then all of a sudden, that would be the thing people would talk about my first couple of years, was like, you're never on time. And that would hurt at selection without even thinking about it, because they think you're not serious. But you're so serious, you're so driven that you just don't value being on time, because it was just the thing. You know what I mean? So if I could probably go back and say one thing, was like, don't be on time. Be like 10 minutes early. And put on a front, get your notepad out, play the game. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that'd be one. That'd be actually a good one. Be on time.
So, as you went on, 21, you started Rick's Eyewear. That's ridiculous. I can't believe that.
I want to know what inspired that.
What started it?
Brandon Ellis started a watch brand, Uncle Jack.
Yeah.
That's what inspired it. I said that to him. Yeah, and he's doing really well. Very similar, like just social guys. Similar ATAR scores at school, and, you know, just partnered up with some intelligent guys. I know Robbie, who his business partner was, and Cohen, who I do the Sunnies with. They're more your operations and CEO and drive the business behind the scenes. And then you got the kind of outspoken networking guys that can help the growth.
Do you mean ATAR as in like they were smart cookies, or?
Oh, I was just saying me and Brando didn't do well at school.
Oh,
so.
right. I was going to say there's like smart guys in the AFL dominating the business world.
No, there's a few of them, Matt DeBoer and all those kind of dudes.
Yeah,
no, but what I was saying was Brando, if he can do it, anyone can do it, was kind of my thing. And I knew that he was having so much enjoyment out of it and leveraging the AFL players and audience, and that was creating more sales and more awareness and having fun with it. So I thought, well, we should start something, and the idea was born.
How'd you find, like, I know footy culture, tall poppy syndrome, you get knocked down pretty quick if you're doing anything kind of different. 21, how did you find kind of pushing around that and starting your own business while still copying it?
We would have launched at like 22. Nah, the boys are amazing.
Really?
The support from the team I was playing with at Freo and the players around the leagues, and still to this day, like it's been the most rewarding thing ever because I got so much enjoyment out of talking about other things than footy. So when I'd go to a function, everyone would ask me, how's the business? How's the brand? Speak to this person, they'll help you. I'd go see them on my off day. I just always had something to do. And, you know, a lot of leads that wouldn't have went anywhere, but then you become friends with people. I've met a lot of people through it. So without it, I'm just so grateful that I did it, you know, and it forced me to meet people. It forced me to ask questions. It forced me to go drive to weird places and have coffees with people I'd never have coffees with. I can't thank the players that I played with and anyone around, like footy clubs and people I know enough, because it's like, as you know, without them, then we wouldn't have the brand still going. So the support's been incredible, and it was the same when I went to the Giants. Like, you know, the whole footy club and all the families and, you know, supporters or anyone around town that they were mates with, like everyone's just so keen to help out. So, yeah, being I guess playing AFL definitely gives you an advantage.
Well, like as someone who's trying to sell product, which is Gab and I, we are not AFL players. You look at like an AFL player has the best possible network. You got a whole team who all have, you know, 60,000 plus followers, and you can launch something so quickly if they support you behind it. So it makes so much sense. I'm surprised like more players don't do it.
Well, I think that's what we're getting to now is a lot of players realise they're just a piece of meat, and if their ACL breaks next year, they might be out of a contract, so they need kind of a fallback option. Is that what you're saying?
Love the piece of meat. We used to say that as well. It's pretty funny, piece of meat. You're right. You're just a little, what do you call it, a pawn on a chessboard, unless you're the superstar. But you're right. The AFL players know this. They know that their career can end quickly, and they also know to build their life whilst playing football. Build their life away from the sport. And a lot of them do university, so that's the first thing they do. And I just didn't want to do it. I went to uni. I did it. I think I did 2 units. We were doing like a unit a semester. Just hated it, man. I think I did 3, and I dropped out when we were doing marketing because I thought, this is me. I love this. Like, I think I could sell anything. Give me a cool product. They were talking about magazines.
Oh, mate, it's so bad.
So I was just like, I was sitting there, and I'm like, I'm done. I can't keep rocking up here. I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm gonna go. That's when I started this. I'm gonna go do something that's practical and fuck it up on the run and learn. And, you know, I just can't sit there and listen to this lecture any longer and do it late nights just to tick a box to keep the club happy, to do something away from footy. So I reckon if you're doing uni and you know your path, great, that's you. But I always say to the other boys, same thing, like while you've got currency and value in the game, team up and do something passionate, fail, but do it, or don't fail, but just learn a little bit more about yourself. And I think people start to freak out at the end. They go, oh, what am I going to do? Yeah. So it's that. Or other people do work experience. I did work experience. I worked at a steakhouse.
Really?
In the old Swan Brewery
Nice.
with Greg Farnan. He was the head chef there, and he got me in, and I think he realised pretty quickly that I was just there to, I love cooking, but I had no idea. Wasn't interested in the business. I just wanted to like cook and bring people in and cook them dinners. So we did some big dinners for the boys, and they're famous for their tomahawk steak. I did like a 10-week experience there. It was awesome, but it wasn't for me. So just trialing things would be my greatest advice to players, just so they can work out what they don't want to do. And
I think we've seen a lot this preseason, especially with like Christian Prochaka posting on TikTok, Tom Mitchell, like plenty of others. They're starting to post like, vlogs of their day. I reckon 2 years ago, if you did that, you'd be absolutely.
It's definitely changing. That tall poppy thing. I just spoke to a few people about it in America, about how we're pretty bad here. We're trying to pull each other back, and look at this guy, what a flog. Where it's starting to turn. Everyone's trying to like, let's collaborate, let's do this, let's help each other. And it's great, and it is good to see more boys doing it. And I think love it. If anyone ever says something like, "Oh, look at him, like what a flog," it's more a reflection on them.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like I think everyone would have called us flogs and questioned what we're doing. And they still do. But when you have like a few followers and they see it's successful and they see other people talking positive about it, it's like, oh no, I want to jump on the bandwagon. Like they're actually doing well. Like,
it's always the case online. And if they meet you, I bet you they don't say anything bad, but say like how well you're going and good luck.
Did you find as you were coming to the end of your career that you were kind of prioritising Ricks over footy?
Yeah. Well, I had to, man. Like I had a really tough end of my career. Like I was the most durable player ever in terms of like, that was my thing. Like I'd run all day. I'd be selfless. I'd play on the wing. I could play anywhere, but the wing would be my position. And then when I went to the Giants, they were like, we need a durable wingman that can, just run up and down all day. And that's me. And in you come, you can help us. And we went to the club. We took like the whole group. We got to a premiership and got beat at the end there pretty badly. But we got to a premiership, got to the grand final, I should say. And just missed. No, it was emergency. I was like the 26th, But like the group that just shows you like it was the right time if I had got going, and like that year was really average because I snapped my calf tendon and then that had like little detail, not get the details, but your gastroc and your soleus, all these little muscles stopped working, so I do little nicks and it'd be another 4 weeks, and it's not like a knee where you're out for an extended period of time. Every week was like keep going. I never knew what the end would look like. And then I come back first, week of preseason, I nick it again, do a 12-week calf program. Then COVID hits. I got another fucking 13 weeks on the sidelines. I get back and then we're in hubs. So like my last couple of years sucked in terms of like footy. And whilst that was going on, I started like another business, Lockdown League, where we did like a FIFA comp. And
that was great.
Yeah, so did that and 2K. Kept pretty busy, good experience. But Rick's was always... Like, I've always treated Rick's like a full-time job. Yep. So it was almost hard when I finished because I was doing the same amount of work probably when I was playing footy as when I was retired. So I was like, I've got a bit more time on my hands, and that's kind of why I started the podcast.
It'd be so handy bridging the gap between AFL to normal life if you had a business that you've kind of done both sides. Did you find when you were doing calves and stuff like mentally challenging?
Yeah.
Or were you kind of checked out at that point?
Yeah, I had a bit more, like I just little things. Like I used to probably complain about warm-ups. It's like, it's just so important, just things like that. I probably did, actually I always got around people that were injured, but I understood more what they were going through. You'd have chats with players that are on the sidelines, but you never really understood what they were going through. So you'd always be there for them, but to actually know like how challenging mentally it is, and having days where you're really like you're just not well mentally, like you'd rock up and you're just angry, and you instead of saying something like "fuck, he's off his head today," it's like, nah, he's just really struggling. Like it's all right to have those days, and it was just a bit of an eye opener. It was just a challenge, man, and again, grateful for it. Like it's just another part of life, and you get over it, and got over it. Like ended up getting the, even though I nicked it last week, first time I've nicked it.
We were meant to go for a run.
Yeah, I was going to take him to the cleaners.
I was going to run over him.
You would have really done me, actually, because I went hard in Newport. But, it's just, getting injured sucks. And I think it opens your eyes to things away from footy as well.
Coming away from footy, did you find there was like a loss of identity when you came out of the game?
Oh, I think you definitely no longer is relevant. Yeah. And Joe Watson come on our podcast and he was great. And he was like, if you think you're going to have that same status, well, you're going to struggle. So you just as quick as you just got to realise that it's over. You can't hold on to it. And the ones that hold on to the identity the longer, the longest are the ones that will struggle. And it's such a great call. And that's why, when you're in the game, like we were just saying, like capitalise on your brand and your opportunities. Because once you're out of the game, you won't be as relevant, and there'll be the next one coming up. It's like anything, like a new toy. Everyone wants the new and the latest. So, definitely your identity. But I didn't really have one anyway. Like I think I was a good guy, great teammate. I was a fringe player. I got the best. I got the best out of every relationship I could have. I played some elite footy, and I was a fringe player. So like I never ever was like your guy that was dominating every week to week. I was just out there enjoying life. So, it wasn't too hard to kind of switch into into life.
I want to get more into Rick's in a second. Vegas, firstly, mate. You just got back.
Yeah.
What were you over there for? You were there for a while, weren't you?
I started there. We had a Bucks party for my mate, JK. And then he got married in Mexico just after it.
Wow.
So,
how good would that be?
Yeah, it was pretty big, man. So I'm into the 9 to 5 fitness, as they'd say now. I'm ready to go. I'm off the, even had a few drinks on the weekend. But yeah, just taking it easy the next month, trying to get back into the swing of things. But yeah, January is a bit of a slow month for the space I'm in. So it made sense. Went over for the wedding, obviously, in the Bucks. and then spent some time in the States afterwards.
Yeah, where'd you go?
Well, JK and Kenzie, who got married, they live in Dallas. So I spent some time with them afterwards for about a week and a half. And then Arizona, met up with the great Jock Landale, who plays the Suns, the Aussie centre. The great man. So he got me some tickets and then caught up with him the day after.
Oh, wow.
And then that was just a quick cheeky, like I was on my own there. So just ducked over to watch a game and then finished in Newport, California. I love it there. We've got some good friends there. For about a week. So that was the end of it. I was trying to hang on for Super Bowl, but I just didn't want to. The tickets and the prices, boys.
What are they going for now?
I think you're looking at 15K.
Yeah,
Aussie,
wow.
and
It just goes up 5K every year.
But it's more like the. So I was speaking to some. So the Uber driver when I was in Arizona was like, mate, there's a hotel up the road here. He's like, the one you're at's really nice. He's like, but this one up the road's the worst in Arizona. It's $50 a night. He goes, it's going for $750 a night in Super Bowl week. God. He goes, and people are paying it.
Yeah.
So like, it's not just the ticket; it's everything else. So I thought, if you like your NFL, but this next one's in Las Vegas.
Oh, mate.
So we're all saving up. So
it's gonna be big.
That's crazy.
We're gonna start planning a crew and. We're going to go there. So, but no, Vegas was great, mate. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
But it was good. Yeah, just top golf and a few other things. And we went to there's a new nightclub called Zouk in Resort World. And funny enough, there's a porn convention on at the same hotel.
Fantastic.
So whoever organised the Bucks, very
just
funny,
convenient.
It's like very convenient.
It's like that beer ad. Oh, Jimmy, what are you doing here?
It's like, oh, Lisa Ann.
Lisa Ann. She's still going.
Yeah, she wasn't there, but yeah, there was it, mate. It was bizarre. Like it was. You know, you're in the lobby at the sports bar watching a bit of NBA, NFL, having a few beers before you go out. A few vodkas for me. I can have enough beer. And mate, you got Johnny Sins rolling around.
You hate Johnny Sins.
Nah, but you see him walking around, mate. It was literally like the Brownlow for porn.
That's crazy.
And it was in our like, mate, it was in the same casino. So like everyone just drinks and punts and gambles.
Wasn't Mr. Olympia on at like a similar time there?
No, I didn't see. Well, I don't know, but it wasn't.
Like they were both like porn. 1 week.
Oh, mate, it was.
It was like Mr. Olympia, then the porn convention the week after. I reckon it was.
There was some freaks getting around though. Like it was. Because it was like all the fans were getting signatures and photos and
a fan for porn.
Mate, it was there was some things walking around.
Oh man!
And in Vegas, you can do anything. Like they're walking around almost in lingerie. Like it was something else, mate. And I had no idea. Obviously, on arrival, I was just trying to get there because I think I was with you. I don't think I saw you much, but at that our New Year's Day party that we did there at Captain Baxter with Nick Russian and the boys.
Yeah.
I pretty much finished up there, then had to pack it and fly to Vegas. Yeah, so I was kind of like wasn't really prepared or organised. And I remember rocking up and reading the WhatsApp and they're like, "Oh, boys, by the way, this is on at the same time." So did that. I think Zed was the DJ I was trying to spit out before, and then a bit of NFL. But I think we did 4 nights in Vegas, and mate, it's too much.
It's a lot.
2 nights is perfect.
Footy trip or a?
Well, it was a Bucks, but it felt like
would you prefer a footy trip or a Bucks?
Oh, it's the same thing,
What's harder?
I think a Bucks is harder now, isn't it? Yeah. I'm a bit older.
Yeah.
Have you done many Buckses? I feel like you'd be good on
I've done more Bucks than footy trips. Footy trips are kind of frowned upon. When I was playing, they didn't really like them. I can understand why. So. Yeah, Bucks are hard work these days because I mean, they're great, but you know what you got ahead of you. As long as
you do it, I feel like you'd be good at a lot of the planning and stuff and sorting things out.
That's what I used to pride myself on at the footy club. I used to love organising like surprise boys' birthdays.
Oh, mate.
Had a few events at my house. Probably they're the things you look back now and you go, that didn't help.
Yeah, that didn't help. Probably could have laid
I did enjoy myself. I would say that.
I wonder when we'll have our first Bucks party, Louis.
Who's it going to be?
How old are you boys?
24.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long way off, mate.
I think it's like, because I'm 29 now, I reckon when you get closer to 30, you'll find it's not like, you're probably excited you want one. Next minute, they're on every fucking weekend and you're going,
when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, literally. I don't think I have many more footy trips in me. I think I've got one left in me.
Footy seasons, maybe.
Yeah, or footy seasons.
Could be then the thing is as well, that's not just the Bucks, it's the wedding. And if I'm single and you got nothing else to do, if it's a close friend, you got the recovery. And that recovery can be a monster as well. So it almost becomes a 2-day bender.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of going, wedding, wraps up, get some sleep, meet at the pub, and then next minute you're straight back into it. And then you go, and then if and then the next day you're probably working. So Yeah, boys, you got it all in front of you.
Yeah.
I want to know, with the Sunnies, the Melrose, was that inspired by LA at all?
It was.
Really?
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite streets
Melrose
in LA.
Avenue.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
it. Chuck them on, man. I reckon that's the Melrose.
Mate,
yeah.
I bought so much stuff on
Look
that
at that.
street.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, that's great.
Bit of like a young Elton.
I thought it could have been a bit of a stretch. Like, no, what the hell is Melrose?
Yeah.
He's
Nah,
like,
that's
"Oh,
it.
man,
No,
really?"
Melrose Ave, and the names are the hardest part.
Yeah.
So,
Fairfax.
yeah. I love America and LA.
It's so much
and-
better.
trying
Apart
to
from
think
it being an apocalyptic war zone, it's actually pretty cool.
Well, I reckon a lot of people are moving out. I didn't actually go into LA when I was there, like Hollywood, West
I
Hollywood.
pretty much stayed in Skid Row last year.
Oh, really?
I didn't know anything about where I was staying until I saw the streets.
Yeah, well, it's a very unique place. You got
Yeah.
Hollywood, and then you got it's poverty.
Yeah, literally.
That's why Newport is beautiful. It's stunning, and there's a lot of money there, but it's like a bit of a town. So
How
like, it's
far out
cool bars.
from LA is it?
About an hour
Okay. Yeah.
up the coast.
Could you live over there? In the States?
Yeah, but I'd need to have. I'd want to have a job that requires me there, and you got a bit of purpose over there. You couldn't just live there and float around.
So expensive.
Yeah, very expensive, expensive, and that dollar's horrendous. So if you're getting paid US,
Yeah.
you'd go.
That's why we like Manscaped.
Yeah.
US company.
Sorry for interrupting this episode. We've got to keep a roof over our head
Yeah.
during this podcast. Should we start with?
Yeah, let's start, bro.
Yeah, who we got?
Let's. We got one or two, mate. Who should we start with? Let's start with Manscaped.
I love Manscaped, man. I love
Oh,
Manscaped. Man.
They should also come out with Womanscaped.
Yeah, because we're big believers in
Believers in women doing whatever they want.
whatever
you
they
do,
want.
you girl.
In fact, you don't have, just because it says Manscaped doesn't mean you have to be a man to use it.
I want our female viewership out there to get a Manscaped.
10% of you.
You know, we, as you guys know, we do not care if you're unshaved down there, so you probably don't even need it.
Good blokes.
But if you want to like curate your mustache or something like that, trim your mustache with your Manscaped, then you can do that too.
Yep. And if you want to pick anything up from Manscaped,
You can use code NTF. It'll give you 20% off and free shipping, and we'll love you very much.
man, I've been sleeping well lately.
I have also been sleeping all right, my friend.
What's your metrics looking like, Gab?
Probably around 82%.
Wow, 82%. That's so dialed in. Do you wear a device that helps you?
No, I actually do because I'm not an idiot.
Yep.
So I've got this Whoop here, and now I wear this. It's my best friend. In fact, it was on 6% the other day, and I couldn't find my charge, and I was stressing
Panic.
because I didn't want it to run out of charge. It gives the best insights, as you know. Tracks everything for you. Best thing that I find is the sleep metrics. We have the group where everyone like gets ranked every day on their sleep. So cool.
So Whoop is a really incredible like band. It kind of helps you track your sports stuff, like your strain, your recovery, so on. We both use it. If they want to pick one up, you can either use my link or you can use your link.
Yeah, so it's no discount code. Essentially, if you click on the link in bio of either Louis or myself, we have separate ones. It'll give you like a free month or some sort of significant discount, and then you can join the group. I think we're up to 100 people in the group, which is pretty
exciting.
damn cool. 100 people making a big investment into their own health.
Very exciting. Right, go for that one. This is a new segment.
Yeah, we're talking about trending stuff that's happened.
We just wanted to chip in the middle of this podcast, kind of break things up a little bit and have a quick chat.
Exactly right.
What do you want to start with?
What has been happening? Okay, so, you know,
Have your nuts been itchy, mate?
you're
Been
very
scratching
blunt,
away.
aren't you?
He's been scratching away.
Actually, someone saw that on a clip,
Like a
and I was
dog.
like, bro, that's just like what I do.
Scratching away at your nuts. So what happened?
So, you know, as we're single men and we're dating and stuff like that,
And we're responsible.
and we're responsible, you know, you should all be getting checked for sexually transmitted infections. STIs, not Subaru WRXs.
No, getting it. Yeah.
You should be getting checked if you are sleeping with women or men, whatever floats your boat.
Yep.
Yep. So we did that. We went to get checked.
So what's like not necessarily any symptoms, but we just thought we'd be good blokes and go and check it up because you know it might have been a few months since we've done that.
Yeah.
It might, you know, we've had some interactions and so on.
Handshaking.
Yeah, we've shaken a few hands, looked a few people in the eye the wrong way. And anyway, so you had the right, mate. Let's go to the sex clinic,
Let's go to the sex clinic,
right?
right?
And there's this one in the city, and you roll in.
All for free.
And you shuffle in because it's a little bit embarrassing and it's all a little bit uncomfortable. We take 2 different cars because we were going 2 separate ways after. Yeah. You drive, you park your car up, walk straight in. I'm still driving to get there. I got caught behind some traffic. You go straight in. Hey, love, got my dick's a bit itchy. Straight through, no issues.
I didn't even say that.
Yeah.
No, I did not say that. I had no symptoms.
You didn't have. You were like, I just want to get checked.
I just knew potentially, like, maybe from one of the previous experiences could have happened. No particular inkling, walk straight through.
Okay. Straight. Right? She lets you straight through.
But you know what? Because I'd been there before. So I had my existing customer profile there.
Exactly. Anyway, little Louis, very nervous to go. Never been to this particular sex clinic before. Gets left behind, and then I muster up the confidence to get in there. I walk upstairs. There's like 5 very attractive girls behind me, all like waiting to be checked as well. And I kind of shuffle in. I've like, got my jumper on. Like, yeah, hey, can I just get checked? Yeah. And she goes,
for what, AIDS?
Yeah. Yeah. And she goes, for what? And I just want to get checked is what I was saying. She's like, come on, just say yes and then move me on. And she goes, do you have any of these? And she slides a card towards me. And it was like peroxide, potoxy, and my dyslexia is fucking going off the walls. I'm reading all these different things. And I'm like, look, I don't think I have anything. I was like, I just want to get checked. She's like, does your partner have? I was like, I don't have a partner. I just want to get checked. And she's like,
you got to have sex to come.
It's like, I've had intercourse. But anyway, so I was thinking she'd just, let me through. Just like, say,
go on.
No worries. Yeah, okay, we'll just piss into the cup and then we'll get back to you, send a quick text and we'll know. No, you have to come back. You can't come in. And I had to be turned around, walk out. The walk in was harder than the walk out. Sorry, the walk out was harder than the walk in because like it was so shameful. I wasn't even eligible. So she's essentially said to me, you can come back if you book. You have to book on the same day. It can't be online. It's just like all these hoops to jump through.
Or you can come back if your dick's itchy.
Yeah, or you can just lie your way through. Mate, absolute disaster.
Oh, it's purple down there, love. You know what I'm saying? It's a bloody crime scene.
Fizzing and bubbling. And it's not the right colour.
I need ointments and tablets to survive the rest of my life now,
It's
mate.
a genuine disaster. Anyway, so I couldn't get checked on that particular day. But
that's a joke. I got checked fine.
Mate, what a ridiculous process.
It is ridiculous.
She's wanting me to spread it if I were to have anything.
Yeah. And the doctor, shout out to him, she said to me, it's very important to get checked even if you're asymptomatic. So they're running with 2 completely differing narratives here. She literally said, Yeah,
she was like terrifying. She was like speaking louder every time. Yeah, do you have any of these?
She's been told the wrong bloody thing.
Oh, just make it. I'm very nervous.
Because, the guys don't have symptoms for a lot of the STIs out there. So it is important to get checked, guys, so you're not spreading
Anyway, so
things.
I went to a doctor and got checked and all clear for those wondering.
Yeah, well done.
But yeah, mate, I was disappointed.
Didn't you have
with
genital warts? Did it come back with that? Wait, didn't you have the one with G? Like gonorrhea?
You had that one, didn't you? Yeah. Nah, it's all good. I just
have to
just shooting blanks for the rest of my life. It's a joke, everyone. Anyway, this is really trending stuff, isn't it? So it's good chat.
Trending. Right.
Next up, mate.
You knew what I was going to say, didn't you?
I
can't say that.
No, you can't.
No.
You can't.
Mate.
Shout out to our third sponsor.
Cheeky jab. Bang.
Cheeky jab. Jack Ginnivan got caught doing illicit substances.
Was it glucose powder or crushed up Panadol drinks? Yeah, well, it's a tough one because met the guy a few times, think he's a good guy, but
great guy, yeah.
And so I think seeing a headline like that, it's just I didn't know how to feel.
I feel bad when I read the comments of Facebook posts how out of the game people's fucking heads are.
It's just
mate, did you see Kane Corn's comments?
Oh, mate.
I haven't seen, this is what Kane Corn said. In the 15 years I was playing, I didn't see anyone do drugs. Mate, I'm sorry, but I've been out a few times in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I've seen a few things.
I've seen some shit,
If you're thinking that Jack Ginnivan's the only one,
potentially Kane Corns didn't get an invite to any of the parties that were happening.
Potentially not. He was, I'd say so. Anyway, but I think I'm feeling for Jack, to be honest. I couldn't care less about that. It's his body, it's his choice.
Yeah.
Whatever. Look,
I think you've got your head in the sand if you think people aren't actually going out partying. And you know what made it worse is rumor has it he was consuming it in a private kind of fashion as much as he could. And someone actually filmed over the bathroom
over
like
a
that.
cubicle.
Mate, are you serious?
I would be so angry if I saw.
I don't know
someone
if
do
that's
that.
true, but if it is, that's terrible.
That is so weak by whoever did that.
But we do not condone the use of drugs.
No, of course not. But we don't condone it. And I think that's just like nowadays it almost goes without saying. Like, of course we don't condone it. But like, look, the kids made a choice and someone's like actively gone out to, get after it.
And all the comments, it's just like these absolute nobodies who get off on like bringing someone else down. And it's like
they're just like so out of it.
They're like tag their mates and they get 3 likes and they're like, Snifflenka or something.
Yeah,
it's like...
Literally. And I think you said it last time, like they get off on someone's downfall.
Mate.
That was the same as the Bailey Smith stuff. Like people are sitting here going, yes.
Yes.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
that
Like,
means
I'm so
out
glad.
of the ranking of 5 million, I'm now 4,999,999.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To go.
Yeah. Come on. My turn's coming soon,
God
brother.
for that. Anyway, I shout out to
Jet Genovan.
Yeah, I hope he's all good.
I hope he's all good, mate.
I genuinely mean that because I think it's bullshit and I think he's covered a little bit rough. Mate. Next up, we got AI.
It's pretty cool, mate.
Yeah. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've seen a lot lately. There's this video going around and it was like how AI has like, it can take, Joe Rogan talking and then it can make Joe Rogan say things that Joe Rogan doesn't say and sound exactly like Joe Rogan. They've done it for Obama. I think they did it for Oprah. Anyone else, Keelan? Oh, yes,
Joe
he's got
Biden?
a mic. Yeah.
They've done it for all like these big politicians, Ben Shapiro, and there's videos going around of them being edited to be making like Minecraft Let's Play videos all together on one big server.
Donald, how the fuck could you forget to bring torches? I can't see shit up in this bitch.
Shut up, retard. You don't even remember what you ate for dinner today.
Yeah, I do. It was the best meal in a long time.
Okay, what did you eat then, stupid?
Your mom's pussy.
Then there's a whole nother sphere of it being quite dangerous because they could literally cancel someone from something made up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of where the drama's coming in because like Joe Rogan's saying all these terrible things and Joe Rogan on these videos is also saying all these like really racist or sexist things.
Yeah.
Where's the how are you supposed to know what's real and what's fake?
Exactly. And then it sparks a whole other interest of porn.
Does it, mate? I didn't even think of that.
There is a relation there, isn't there, Keelan?
So the other week, a big Twitch streamer got caught watching. Oh, this is crazy. Caught watching deep fake videos, which is
Oh no, mate.
putting like another woman's face on a porn star's body
Ooh,
Bit creepy.
quite creative.
of other Twitch streamers.
Mate, soon people just aren't going to have to leave the house. It's ridiculous.
You can make anyone do anything or say
AI is crazy, bro.
It's pretty terrifying. I think we need to get on it.
You essentially, well, mate, I'm already on it. You're going to be left in the dust, you old boomer. But you give it a big enough sample size, not even that big. And I've done it for like my YouTube title things. And you give it this sample size and then the AI goes, rubs its 2 brain cells together and it gives you 50 of the most elite title ideas. And you can do it for visuals. You can do it for text. You can do it for speech, anything you want. It is insane. And this is just a start.
Yeah, mate. Exciting but nerve-wracking times, I'd say. Well, that's our dose of quick news for you, mate, of,
Yep.
trending stuff.
Hope you guys liked it and back to the regularly scheduled program.
Back into Rick's eyewear. I'm super interested by it. The type of individual you are, like similar to me, I'm not very academic. I'm not remotely academic, but somehow do all right in business and kind of people persons and stuff. How did you figure out that like business was going to be the route that you wanted to go, or like starting your own business was the route?
Oh, yeah, just kind of, I guess, I'm very driven. I'm very driven and passionate. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist as well. So, even just seeing Muzz before, who's obviously wearing the great man shout out, but he's like, geez, they've come a long way. And I go, it's like any business, you're going to stuff it up at the start. Our styles were never on point at the start. We had 1 out of 6 styles that we nailed. The Orbit, which is still our number one, like that and the Melrose are our top 2 sellers. And then you got all the new products now. And what we've learned is, our audience and our customer and, what they want. And so we've learned a lot about our brand. And yeah, I guess a bit like you, like I've been able to partner up with a guy like Colin Rogers, who's my business partner, who he does things that I can't do, and I can do things he can't do. So we, the yin and yang. That's what you need. You need someone that can kind of their strengths are your weaknesses, and you can kind of bounce off one another. So very grateful for him and his family, and the way we set it all up. And We've also got Ferg Watts involved now. And so we've got a good team. And then people that we freelance, we've got a nice digital agency that we work with. So, yeah, that's kind of like when I realised that, you know, it's the same things with footy. Like, you're just so driven. You want the end goal and you want success, and you'll do anything to get you there. So if it means to, you know, you're not good academically, you'll work out, okay, what is my strength? What can I contribute to the business? And that's what it was. It was like just getting sunnies on people's heads.
Yeah.
That's literally like getting sunnies on their heads and opening up doors. And, you know, you see like celebrities that we've had, like that's been like 7 years of my hustle.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Jason Tatum was wearing them, you know, it's like 5 months ago.
That's
like
awesome.
that's like 2 years of work,
Yeah,
you know? And now is the NBA All-Star. So like things like that are so rewarding. And I always say it's a bit like fishing. You throw the line out there and hope it, you know, someone nibbles. I've really enjoyed that part of like giving product to influencers and people that can promote your brand, but also like people you can work with long term. I love that long term relationship. And you never expect something from people. You just want feedback. And then generally, if they really like them, then you can chat and see what you can do.
That's what I've found the best way to do it is we've got like our own apparel line, and like the worst way to do it is to say, we will send you this and this in exchange for this and this. It's
Yeah.
like, no, give it to them for free. And because you believe in the product that much, they're going to be blown away by it.
And wearing it, yeah.
It's the same for me. If I love the product, I'm going to post about it if I actually like it. I don't want it, like it shouldn't be transactional like that.
Transactional is the great
Yeah.
word. I hate transactional and it doesn't work for anyone, and it's quite toxic as well. You're spot on. If you can just work with good people and slowly build up your community, again, like the most important thing with the sunglass brand, Rixie, by the way, I've got a discount code as well, so
Yeah.
we'll drop that in a second.
Yeah,
but
good.
it's the product first. So I was like, we need the best product. And we do. We've got Italian Mazzucchelli acetate, German engineered hinges. The lenses are the best. And it's the price point that just below every other brand that has that
Yeah,
quality.
well
Snuck
priced.
in.
So like we pride ourselves on like the product.
Yeah.
And then obviously everything else comes from it. Because you can see how people, you know, once they establish themselves, they go, right, now let's just drop all the quality and
tighten the
charge.
hinges up.
It's
Charge like a wounded bull.
Yeah, exactly right. Just flog them for 3 years and
Here we
choose the
go.
profit margins are through the roof. So we've always said we want that sustainable growth and a real quality product. And yeah, pretty proud of the work our team's done and the sunnies that we continue to roll out now. It's really exciting.
What was the breakthrough for you? Like, when did you think it was kind of like breaking through? Gab made a good point before you came in. Like, feels like you guys have really done well on the influencer marketing side, obviously because it's like great products, people want to promote it. Was it the influencer side for you that was like, yep, we're fucking here now? Or was it something else?
I reckon that podcast has helped a lot, especially the Melbourne audience. Like I think doing those American Aces has been able to, you know, get the brand out there more, which then they can try the sunnies on and buy them, and then you've got another, you know, customer that, because our return customers are really high. But in terms of a breakout, I don't think it's been one thing. I reckon when Margot Robbie wore them.
Oh, mate.
Margot Robbie wore our, like, it was.
How'd you do that?
It was our Dre's Havana. And I'll never forget it. I was playing footy against Gold Coast. And we just
Walk off the field.
we just so we landed. So I was on a flight from Perth to Gold Coast. I landed. My sister, Naomi, texted me and was like, are these just sunnies? And the reason I knew exactly they were, because like they were our worst seller. Like we just couldn't move them because we had a real male customer base. It was a female style, it was a big one. And it was like a, you know, it was a Havana, like tortoise, like yellow and brown.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
them.
They're good sunnies, but they didn't really move. And then bang, she's been papped at the LAX airport. And
No way.
when that happened, I just grabbed it and threw it online. And I think that was the moment where everyone started going, oh, these boys are killing it. You know, and it's like, you're not killing it. But people start talking about the brand. And then it was like, right. So then, like you said, that was a highlight.
Oh, mate, yeah.
And then OBJ wore them.
Wow.
Odell Beckham Jr. wore like 5 orbits, like back to back in a month. We sent a box to.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
Mate, that's huge.
Yeah, so he was rocking them, and then he rolled in like Monday Night Footy with like a Calvin Klein cream suit, and he had the champagne orbits on.
Mate, that's
and
unreal.
I was watching NFL because I'm obsessed, and I'm like, holy fuck, like that's
Yeah.
he's wearing my sunglasses, and then that was a talking point for like the blokes. So we had like the girls, the guys, which definitely still lean more towards a male like audience. But we do have, you know, all our shapes and sizes and stuff. You know, they fit everyone. But yeah, when that happened, it was like, fuck, we're on here.
Yeah.
And then after that, I reckon the AFL community is probably like that's been the most rewarding. And the thing that's moved the needle the most, I reckon, is the boys supporting me. Teammates, ex-teammates, players, they've got a lot of influence in the community, and I reckon that'd be something I'd say to brands that, you know, and that's why they get the deals. I think athletes really do influence people
hugely.
more than influencers
100%.
that look good.
100%,
you know?
mate. Yeah.
That's what I reckon. But yeah, 360 scope, you want to be doing everything, you know. It's not just one thing, as you boys would know. You do podcasts, you do your EDMs, you do advertising, your social media, you know, all that kind of stuff helps. So if you're doing it all at once, it should, you should do it right.
Yeah. No, that's really impressive. I think like we saw it, there was like this Rick's party last year or something, and it seemed like every girl influencer wanted to go, and it seemed like this really premium thing. So I think like you guys have done an amazing job with the marketing and separating yourself from just like a regular sunglass brand to like something about the name, the brand, it has like this aura about it.
Nah, I appreciate that, mate. And yeah, geez, I've probably aged 2 years from that party. It's putting that together was hard work.
I think Tom did as well. He was legless.
Yeah, he had a good time. I think he met his girlfriend.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He met his missus there, the big fella. So he was in fine form. I think he was. I think there's a video of him trying to like kiss her and got rejected. And then now they're dating. So it's like, because I remember putting on my story, I'm like, I better delete that and look after him. Because I was just all hammered. It was a great night. The Russians do the best job.
Yeah.
Bar Bambi's, I mean, that's what helps as well. Bar Bambi is such a great place to go for a drink and food. So when you collaborate with like the boys there, it made life much easier and much more attractive when you're doing an event. So that was good fun, and we're going to do it again.
Oh, awesome.
We're going to try to do it every year.
That's good,
we'll get you boys down there. It's good.
We were at Bar Bambi the other night, Tom and I, and it was like some event on, and there was a guy floating around who was just hammered, and it was clearly like his first event at Bambi, and Tom was like, that was me the first time. That was me at the Rick's Eyewear event. I was like, oh no, mate. Yeah,
just get excited. I had to do a speech, like, you know when you got to do, like, it's probably like at a wedding or something or whatever, you stay in kind of sober, but once that was out the way, it was like,
stand back.
Let's go. Yeah, stand back. Let's go. But nah, appreciate the kind words. And again, that's another thing, events. Like, that's another thing that I really like events. Probably,
you'd be great at that.
Probably not good for the bottom line events. There's a lot of budget required, but geez, I love blowing a budget. You know, say, what's your strengths? Like, give me the budget.
Double it.
Yeah. So, events are great fun. I love that's why I love like this interaction. I hate fucking online and calling and Zooms. Like,
same,
Zooms are good if you're, interstate or whatever, but if there's an opportunity to catch up face to face, I love that. I think it's really valuable.
Just on the podcasting, we've found in our lives has helped a whole lot. Just in terms of conversing, and like would have always been good at conversing. I was relatively good at it as well. Same with you, Gab. But like, we've found podcasting has helped in so many different ways. Have you found that in like different facets of your life, that once you've kind of become comfortable behind cameras and stuff, you're just able to relax and talk actual good content?
Probably, I used to love the cameras, just never got the gig. Like I also was like at Freo, I was never your best player. I'd always want the gig, but they have like ASAs, so they'd be assigned to your best players and they'd have to do it as a part of their deal. And so I used to like love just sneaking in for a cameo or whatever. So the Giants probably embraced me a little bit more. Like I ran all their FIFA comps and got to like, do it. But yeah, I kind of don't mind being in front of the camera and behind the mic. But what I have loved is just asking people like questions that you probably would never ask due to, if you've got a one-on-one interview, like just like you guys, what's the best advice for your younger self? Like, that's a pretty deep question you wouldn't ask your mate at the pub. But when you ask someone that is your guest, and generally, hopefully, your guest's a high profile or someone meaningful to your community, and they answer it, and then you guys keep flowing on, it always takes you to a new path, and you start to understand each other a bit better than, other people, and then you build a relationship. Then after the podcast, you might get lunch, and then you keep in contact. So I've really enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed interviewing people, getting to know people, and even my mates, like getting them on and asking them deeper questions on the pod, and then being able to tell their story to everyone else, and they can understand the human versus the athlete.
Yeah, you like
more.
pushing them out there to the world.
Yeah,
You're like, look
yeah.
at this guy. He's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's
Everyone's
not what you
looking.
think, is it?
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
it's the first thing they say. Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Geez, I love that bloke now. you know?
Exactly.
So that's what I love. I love the whole, the word Jakey, who does the Unlaced, his whole thing's like humanizing the athlete. And it's like the best word. It's so good. Like humanizing
He's
anyone.
great. Yeah.
Just letting people know their story is so rewarding. And just sitting back and letting them go is pretty cool.
Do you take inspiration from any particular podcast? Like for me, I love Diary of the CEO at the moment, the way Stephen Butler asks questions and so on. Do you like, is there anyone you kind of...
I go from more the entertaining route. So like that's more like real, that's great. I've listened to a few of his ones. I think my skill is like that energy, up and about, entertainment, sport is kind of my thing. And then also bringing it back and asking a couple of hard hitting questions that, are important. So I listen to heaps of sport podcasts, mate, whether it's, like I don't really, like whether it's Joe Rogan with an athlete that I like, Aaron Rodgers. Bang, I'm all over it. There's Bussing with the boys, 2 boys from Tennessee Titans. They get all the NFL athletes on. The Kelsey brothers just had one, New Heights, that's like it's elite. I've just started listening to them. And then you got Pat McAfee. So they're the kind of vibes that I go for because that's the kind of industry that I want to be in. But then I've heard a few of his ones as well, and they're really educational and they really help. Quite motivational as well.
We've found some of our favourite podcasts is like back when we used to live in this different house, we didn't have a studio at the time, and we'd be like going out on a Saturday night. We'd be like, oh, fuck it, we'll switch the cameras and the mics on for pre's. Have a couple of drinks.
Almost
We get
ourselves.
get ourselves in a lot of trouble, but so much fun. Would highly recommend
Love it.
doing it for praise. But
Yeah, we got to
podcasting.
do one again. in the
Exactly.
future.
My mind just drifted, so I need to get the discount
Oh
code.
yeah, get it out there.
So we have Aces at Osmerican Aces, but I wanted to come up with a custom one for you boys, and you
Well,
got your own
others.
code.
Yeah.
What's the code?
Unreal. NTF.
NTF.
NTF. So
Yeah.
let's make it.
Use code NTF.
Yep. Use code NTF.
Yep.
And that'll get you 20% off.
Yep.
And free express shipping forever. Like I'm not going
Bang.
to turn it off.
Really?
Yeah,
Mate,
I'll leave
our
it on.
code will fly. It'll do too well.
That's what I want. I want to make sure because everyone does them for a week. No, leave it
Yeah.
on.
I
Whether you
love
want them
that.
now or in spring. But NTF.
Yep,
Yeah.
NTF.
At checkout.
Mate, they know it.
You
Trust
guys
us.
know the code.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
If
And
there's anything you can do,
Alvin,
it's
let's see how you look on the Melrose.
yeah.
that-
I
that-
do
the
like
sunrise.
that.
Oh, you look
Bro,
at
you
that.
actually look. You look so smart.
Should be
now
an
with the one.
little
You look
Newport,
like you got a
California
laundry
job.
or something, bro.
Yeah, I feel a lot smarter. These
There
are
you
good
go.
stuff. You can actually feel the quality, hey?
No, you can.
They are
So
fantastic.
that's great. So was it?
NTF.
NTF.
9 to
Yeah.
5 Fitness, NTF.
90,
Yep.
yes.
They'll know it. You don't. They already knew. We would
And
have
if
to
it
set a
doesn't
code.
work, they'll let you know as well.
Yeah, they'll let us know as
Oh,
well.
don't worry, I'm quick as well. I just am a perfectionist. I'll be, come on, mate, chuck it up, get it going.
Get it up.
No, I'll be active as soon as I walk off here.
Well,
and this will be
last
online.
couple to go. We got a quick mailbag segment, mate. Got a quick question here from Matt Collins. Says biggest adversity in starting Rick's.
COVID, with our strategy was wholesale retail. We invested a lot of money into stands, point of sale, and then a lot of stores closed.
Yeah.
And they were stripping back.
Yeah.
And taking on new sunglass companies was probably not a priority. So that was the hardest. That was a very hard year, 2020. But again, not as hard as everyone else out there.
No.
But that was the challenge. So and we, you got to keep on keeping on, as they say. But yeah, that was a strategy that we've spent a lot of time on and said, right, people want to go into stores, try them on. Let's invest in stands, make our sunnies look good, point of sale, customize them a little bit so they can look good in different stores. Got them rocked up. And all the stores were closed and no one really wanted them. So
Yeah.
bit of a waste of cash and a strategy, but you live, you learn, and you adapt.
Did you just double
Such
down
an
on
anomaly.
e-commerce after that?
Just tweak, definitely changed. Started the potty as well, so we sponsored that. Parties when we can get back, and then just more influencer campaigns and user generated content kind of stuff. But yeah, the stores and that were just, it's a lot of time that you spent calling, emailing, sending all your your catalogs and all that.
Plus the high overheads, obviously.
Yeah, they take 50% pretty much. It's more the time as well. So that was a good question, and that was something that we overcome, and it's quite challenging at the time.
Next one here from Bo says fitness life after the AFL, just like your relationship with fitness after playing professional sport.
Wasn't that good, I don't reckon. I reckon I would beat myself up a little bit. I was like probably drinking more, going out. Kind of, as I said, I ended like my career on a bit of a downer. So I was just kind of like a bit reckless, kind of like, oh, it's all over. Like, and then I got onto a bit of a fitness campaign where I started like running heaps, but I let myself go in the gym. So I reckon, and even now I'm building straight back up. And when I say let myself go, I reckon like I stopped doing leg weights.
Yeah.
But I was running heaps and I just started getting like, just a bit tired or wasn't able to complete sessions as well as I was. And that's all that injury prevention stuff. So my advice there would be when you do finish up is to kind of maintain, don't try break records, but just maintain your strength and conditioning versus stopping and then starting and kind of picking it up where you left off.
Do you find the running ideal like for your mental? Like do you do running more for your mental than...
Oh, yeah. I'm really good at running and I'm really shit at gym, right? I'll be no good with you and I'll be all right with you. Like, but I enjoy running because I think it's just easy for me. And it's just, again, like going to the gym, I just walking in, I'm like, oh, this is going to make me feel sick. Whereas if I go for a run, I could run all day until I tighten up, and I enjoy it. And then you feel so good after it. Where with gym, I feel shit out after
They
it.
said on your Wikipedia page that you're top 2% for the beep test in AFL players or something.
Pretty big.
Yeah. What did we do? I think 15.7 at draft camp.
Yeah.
And I think it's 9:57 2K was my. That was when I was
3K, not a 2K.
3K.
Yeah, sorry, it's 3K.
Yeah.
9:57. I think you've got to go.
Yeah. Sorry, they do 2Ks now. Yeah, 3K.
Yeah.
Geez, 3Ks
That's
are harder
flying.
than 2Ks.
Ew.
Are you playing footy as well now still?
I've never played.
Oh, you never played?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
You just
2Ks
lift
but we
weights.
don't.
Yeah.
Nah,
You
haven't
blow
done
up, I reckon, on a 3K, mate.
Yeah, he's not too bad at the 2K.
Yeah?
3K, yeah, we haven't
My
done
goal's
it.
a 7-minute 2K at the moment,
Yeah, that's all right.
which is
good.
for powerlifter, I suppose. Not
Oh,
bad.
mate, if you're doing powerlifting and you can run that, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Not many ruckmen can get past that one.
Yeah.
But what would you do a 2K in?
Oh, mate, I'm shocking. Worst distance,
You'd be all right.
650.
We're
Shocking.
trying
You'd
to
be able to
yours
get that down
to-
easily, I reckon.
Yeah, I could, but I'm doing more the longer stuff.
Yeah,
Like
but
the
you'd be able to
anaerobic.
do the 2K. You just got to go a bit harder at the start.
Exactly.
Should
I
do a
need you
2K.
I reckon you
with
could do a
me tonight.
6:30
do one with me.
tonight.
Do you reckon?
I've seen your times on your. If you can
Yeah.
do 10K at that, what did you do? 45 minutes last night.
43, yeah.
43.
Oh, yeah, 45, yeah.
Nah, you could do that easy.
Yeah, I hate that distance, hey. I hate
You just
the
got to go.
stomach
I
feeling.
reckon you just got to go hard to start, and then you're nearly there. And once you get to halfway, you literally got 3 minutes. Call it 3:30 left, and just start counting down.
Really? That's how you did it?
Oh,
Just-
break it down. Yeah,
Just
It's
smack it out at the start.
the
and then-
last minute's like death, but you can see the finish line, and then you get that last stride. But it's but 2K you can cheat. 3K you can't. 3K I've done it before where if you go real hard,
Yeah.
the second lap becomes like that lactic, and then the last lap becomes
mate.
like mental strength. You're like, I've actually done a number on myself here. I've got nothing, but I have to run a time here. I'm going to get cut. You know?
We had Zach Fisher on the podcast. He was saying he was contemplating like pretending to snap his leg at one.
Oh,
2K
Blodge's
was.
gone down with fake hammies, I reckon.
He's
yeah.
like looking at the bar on the side of the track. He's like, if I just jump into that with my ankle, like end your whole season, but just to give
I'd
up
love
the
to know
pain.
what goes through people's heads on the last lap or even the second lap of a 3K. It's you're in some grim areas.
How good do you feel after it? Like, I think it's that vulnerability through the experience, and you feel elite after it.
Oh, if you've run a good time and your coach is
there's
happy,
that to
but
it,
if you
yeah,
haven't,
yeah.
run a good time, you feel shit out.
That's what I was chatting to Louis about. Okay, so the suffering, you say you got half left, right? And the suffering of running at a 4-minute pace as opposed to a 3-minute pace, do you think it's much greater? Like, you're going to have to suffer anyway.
I've had this argument with my mate in the ice baths one day, and he was really good at swimming, and I was no good at swimming, and he's no good at running, and I was good at running. And I used to say, oh, mate, how the fuck can't you just keep up? And he's like, oh, righto, mate. Well, let's go in the pool right now and let's do that. And when he put it like that, it made a lot of sense. So if you're no good at running, it'd probably feel the same as a guy that's good at running in that low threes.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if there's a guy, if you're both good at running and one's in the, as you just said, a 7-minute 2K and one's at a 6:20, then 7 would be pretty easy, I reckon.
Yeah,
You could take the foot off a
exactly.
little
And it's
bit.
person to person, but I think that last 10% can sometimes feel like 50. I don't know, whatever. Running
Yeah.
chat's pretty boring though. We're losing listeners.
Sorry, guys. I thought they love the running. You just told me
love
that.
it. They do.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. We're more of a
Go back
lifting
to
kind
the
of
mailbag.
Nah, mailbag's done, mate.
Oh, you're done?
This is done. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. Really
What's I
appreciate
got to
it.
ask you. So, what's the plans for the year? Give your listeners. I mean, you probably
Keep
already
rocking
have. Keep rocking
showing
up.
up.
Next contest.
Yeah, no, we just want to keep providing value is the main one. Like getting people on who, like before BTV, before like festivals and stuff, we had a festival medic on.
Okay.
Just like providing educations around like drugs, if your mates are on gear and so on, what to do. So more stuff like that, I think, going forward. And then Gab and I just love doing episodes together. So just kind of a lot of the same stuff, but just keep providing. People know to tune in every Monday and we just keep going.
Build on it, I reckon.
And what are we benching, big fella? Give me your run. Give me the rundown here.
This year, hopefully, like competition 160, 170. So we'll see when we peak, because it's with the training blocks. It's Like you can't just go and test your 1 rep max. Like you have to peak for it.
Yeah.
There's a whole kind of regime.
Oh, yeah, don't
behind
worry.
it.
I'm all over it. Just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
1 rep, 100 kilos.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it's my best ever. I'm weak as piss on bench press.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, though.
Very
yeah.
weak. Very
Nah,
weak.
that's good.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not. 1 rep. That's bad. It's bad, man. But what else? What are your favorite
So
exercises?
powerlifting is a combination of squat, bench, deadlift. You have to do it in a competition. Whoever gets the biggest amount of weight wins. It's a very epic sport.
And they're in their little zoot suits. They
Yeah.
get tight little
Yeah.
suits and they fucking
Wear
lock
that
in.
thing around you. Do you wear that?
yeah, the belt,
The
and we
strap
got the
on.
knee sleeves and full.
What do
kit
you
and
do? You do
caboodle.
trap bar or just deadlift?
No, not trap bar, mate.
I
Come
love
on,
the trap.
on,
Oh,
yeah.
man, I can't do the other bar.
We do.
It whacks
Same,
my
I'll
knees.
snap my back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your knees.
I love the trap bar. It does. You know when you like
All
whack
these
the
footy
knees?
players,
little-
mate, they're all so weak.
Nah, your little patella tendonitis. Little whack the knees. I used to go right on the trap bar.
Yeah, really. It's
love-
good for power. It's
Love trap bar. Hated squatting.
same.
What about you,
I
mate?
can't
You're
squat.
like, now that you're running, are you getting a bit weaker in the gym?
Bit leaner. Yeah, a little bit.
He's got a good
but not
bench,
too
but he
worried.
can't bench and he can't squat or deadlift. Otherwise, his spine will be down the
Yeah,
straight.
I'd
It'll
fuck my
ping
back.
out.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Really?
Yeah, no. Just
What's your
don't do
lower lower body type lift?
It was trap bar deadlift. Yeah, but we don't have one at the new
We should
gyms.
get one. Then,
They're
mate.
hard to find,
So
man.
I do box squats. Yeah.
Yeah, and
that's main.
do you guys do bench pull?
Oh no,
No.
They're not around.
that's big on the AFL, isn't it?
AFL lists, everyone's got them. So you do
Yeah.
like your pre-season training, and I was good at it. So I was like good at like pulling and can't push, but there's no gyms rarely have a trap bar and a bench pull. So if you're out there and you're a gym listening, get the bench pull because
Get the bench pull.
It's a hit.
I've seen it around a few times. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a big
there's some
setup.
dodgy ones and there's some good ones, but they're really good for you. Lads, thanks for having me.
Mate, thank you so much for coming on. Use code NTF at rixeyewear.com.
Yeah, rixeyewear.com.au.
And code NTF and watch it blow up. Tell me we're going to blow up your website.
Oh, I can't
Guarantee
wait
it.
for it. And make sure you hit me up what you want, what style. I know
yeah,
Prime's
unreal.
probably
Well, I want a Melrose. to be honest
Melrose.
with you.
Yeah,
I've
they're
got them
very
at my
cool.
house, so I'll
Yeah,
drop
yeah,
them
yeah.
off. But yeah, thanks a lot for having
Yeah,
us, and
thanks, mate.
all the best for the year, and no doubt we'll see you all soon.
Absolutely.
very much.
Cheers, guys.